Yo, what's going on guys? Arekkz here. Welcome back to another video for Monster Hunter Rise, and today is an incredibly exciting day because Capcom have just started dropping their weapon preview videos. This is one of my favourite times in Monster Hunter pre-launch when they start showing off some of the moves and some of the kind of special new features for each of the weapons, and they're dropping two today. The bow and the dual blades. In this video, we'll be talking about the bow, and in the next video, I'll be doing the dual blades. I'm splitting them into separate videos so that way you can search for them as and when you please. And assuming they follow some sort of schedule, then it might well be 2 new videos each day. So check back regularly to find out more. But I basically want to go over this, break it down quickly, and go over some of the additional information they shared on the website. So if you do enjoy this, a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below, keep it locked because we've got plenty of Monster Hunter stuff to talk about. But to begin with, of course, first things first, they kind of have that little nice intro clip wearing the armor, in this case from the Bisharten bow and armor, and honestly this looks incredible. Every single armor set I've seen so far looks so cool, but I love the colors, love the design on this one. It just looks so awesome. But also in that intro clip, we see the hunter kind of lining up a dragon piercer. We see it also performing a couple of the silk bind moves, that fancy sort of backflip, and we'll get more into that in just a second. So, beginning from there, we then get to sort of see some of the standard movements that we're of course familiar with that were introduced in World, just the kind of behavior for the bow. So, you know, your side steps into your different arrows. We see the different charge levels. You see that when you're charging, the actual bow itself glows in the color, which looks really, really cool. And then you can of course sidestep into those different charge levels. And you can then of course go and perform the power shots like we are used to. We also see that the jumping attack with the arrow is also back, which you can use to build up mount attacks. We also have the volley attack, which rather interestingly this time seems to be more of a buff than actually the kind of, you know, we often called it the coconuts move before, where you basically rain down those pellets and it would then dish out KO damage. Quite whether you have like options will of course remain to be seen, but you can notice here that the hunter fires this up. You don't actually see anything coming down, but when you dash into it, you can see this sort of particle effect that comes around the hunter, so it makes me think it's potentially some kind of buff. You'll also notice in this next clip, the hunter's using a different bow this time. This seems to just be the standard sort of steel one, probably the Tatara steel bow. And this time, the teammate actually gets a green sort of particle effect around them. So it's more than likely the different bows will carry different kind of volley buffs. So this one could be healing. The previous one, given that it was red, could be attack. That much we'll of course have to wait and see. Then moving on from there, we also get a look at the Dragon Piercer, and we then jump over to the brand new Silk Bind moves. Silk Bind moves are of course referring to the like special wire bug moves, not the basic ones that you do just by swinging yourself into the sky, but actually the bigger ones that typically cost 2 wire bugs. It will of course vary depending on the weapon, but these are typically the higher cost actual, like, I guess if you wanted to make a comparison, it's kind of like Hunter Arts, not quite the same thing in the way that you kind of select them and perform them, but in terms of, you know, them being slightly bigger, more special moves. The first one is called Herculean Draw, and the website gives us some more information on this one. It says you actually use Iron Silk to strengthen your draw. You surge forward in a designated direction, and your attack is also empowered for a short time. So basically, it is a temporary damage buff. But also, given that it has a dash component to the actual animation, you can also use it evasively. So kind of in a similar way to how we saw the Greatsword before with the powerful move, you can actually use it as like a dash to get out of an attack and then go straight into powering up your attack. So you can then, you know, evasively get out and be very quick to strike following on from there. However, we then have the second move, which is called the Focus Shot, which looks incredibly cool. This is like super stylish because it begins with a backflip. The official website says energy through harmony with nature. You dodge whilst crouching, and then all whilst you're crouching, your stamina refills faster, rapidly regenerates, and if you time it right, you can then nullify a monster attack whilst evading, but you can also use the left stick to change the direction in which you evade. So this is really cool because obviously, you know, when you're using some of those powerful bow attacks, they do eat through stamina, which of course is typically why you've always, you know, built builds around it that kind of give you more stamina. But the fact is you can jump back, crouch, seemingly with your weapon drawn, which is actually really cool, and then from that crouch you can then dash straight into, you know, your attack. So this way, if you want to maintain that onslaught of attacks, maintain that onslaught of, like, you know, bow shots, then this is how you're going to be doing it. So that is very, very cool. Just like super, super stylish, backflipping out of the way. Honestly, everything about this game, like Monster Hunter Rise is just the stylish Monster Hunter game. I am so incredibly excited for this. But anyway, that is a little breakdown of the bow video that we've seen. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And again, be sure to keep it locked. We'll also be going over the dual blades video on the channel today. And assuming the other videos drop every single day this week, then we'll have video coverage of every single weapon. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget, if you haven't already done so, you can join the Arekkz Gaming Discord. We've got an awesome community over there with so many different channels for you to chat loads of different topics and different games. I'm in there, the team's in there. If you guys want to chat with us, find people to play with, it's just in general a great place to be. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to turn on those notifications so you don't miss any of our future uploads.